Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. And in a deliberate contrast to the epic fail video which we featured earlier this week, today you're getting an epic win video. And our first match features an ELC AMX platoon, Prince Serg, Admiral Izzy, and Arbiter Spider, a three-man ELC platoon. What you're about to see, I highly recommend you do not try this at home, kids. What you're about to see is the kind of thing that YouTube was made for. However, the reason I say don't try this at home, kids, is because it's the kind of thing that encourages people in light tanks to make suicide scouting runs across the middle of the field in Malinovka because they saw it on YouTube, and 9 times out of 10, it usually ends in disaster. In order for this sort of thing to even have a prayer of working, you need a few things going for you. First, you need massive balls of solid steel, or just a complete, total, suicidal indifference for your own safety and well-being. You also need insane amounts of luck. And thirdly, well, it helps if your team backs you up. And the Cromwells are getting stuck in here as well, which means that there is going to be just too many targets for the enemy team to prioritise and focus down. And they might actually stand a chance of getting away with this. Of course, there are going to be casualties. But, well, that's half the fun of the light tank suicide lottery in the first place, isn't it? Cromwells have made it across the field as well, in cover behind the house, and you need to watch out when you're in this kind of situation, because the crossfire from your own team can be just as detrimental to your health as any amount of fire from the enemy team. They've already lost one of the ELCs, but they've claimed their first and their second kill on the enemy team, their third kill, their fourth kill. Oh no, that Cromwell's not looking too clever. Oh, they got him. Never mind. Oh, not the TOG. No, leave the TOG alone. Oh, this isn't fair. Cover your eyes, folks. Come on, pick on somebody your own size. Okay, you can look. The TOG's gone. Prince Serg here in the ELC hasn't taken a single hit yet, although he's been shot at about 40 times, and counting. But this is where the massive amount of luck is going to come in. Although, well, driving an ELC, you do tend to make your own luck. It's a small target, hard to hit. But now there's an A43 in hot pursuit. And depending on which gun he has, he either has 86, 112 or 125mm of penetration. And the ELC's 10mm of rear armour says nope. Oh, you've got to be kidding. And, well, yeah, that seems fair. 10 out of 10 trolls drive the ELC AMX. And I think I'm beginning to see why. But there's more drama incoming. Hang on, we're just going to deal with this guy first. Oh dear, you missed. Mind you, well, look at that. Point blank range, and it sailed right over the top. Handbrake turn. Oh, dodged the shot. And actually rams in for some damage, but check out the Panzer 38. Watch this. Here's the drama. There's only 3 tanks left on the enemy team. Look at this guy. Look at that scumbag. Yeah. Yeah, not today, scumbag. Not today. There's only 1 tank left on the enemy team. A very, very frustrated Cromwell B, who's probably got a few choice words to say in chat about the rest of his team at this stage of the game. I did warn you that this was going to be a very, very short first battle in today's video. The total time elapsed that it takes Prince Serg's team to completely dismantle 15 enemy tanks is 4.5 minutes. Sadly, he's not going to get the kill shot against that Cromwell B, but he's going to put a shot into him just for the sheer love of it. Prince Serg showing us how to ELC platoon in Malinovka, but only if you're feeling particularly brave or suicidal. Next in the spotlight we have the Dutch Ranger going beast mode in the American Tier 9 heavy tank, the M103, here on Ruinberg. You know, I can remember when these American top tier heavies, the M103 and the T110E5 were first introduced. They had the highest damage per minute and penetration of any of the heavy tanks. In fact, in a lot of Clan Wars games, the T110E5 was used to replace the medium tanks just because of its mobility and damage per minute. Of course, things have moved on a little bit since then, but, well, the M103 still got it where it counts. The Dutch Ranger is platooned up with another Tier 9 heavy tank, the French AMX 5120. It's played by Dennis77998, but, well, Dennis isn't going to have a bad match, but it's not going to be anything like the match that the Dutch Ranger's going to have. I like the M103. I had a lot of fun with mine, but only once I'd unlocked the top gun, which is the same M58 120mm gun that you get on the T110E5 at tier 10. And that's why it's such a good gun. Obviously here at tier 9 on the M103 you don't get the same handling characteristics that the T110E5 gets with the same gun at tier 10. So you have a 2.3 second aiming time on the M103 as opposed to the 2 second aiming time on the T110. You have 0.37 accuracy on the M103. And you have lower damage per minute thanks to the slower reload, but it's still a good, reliable, consistent gun with 258mm of penetration. Not that you need that kind of penetration to ruin that Waffenträger Panzer IV's day, but here comes the T-34, demonstrating exactly the wrong way to come around a corner if you've got an AMX 5120 fully loaded and ready to go in front of you, not to mention an M103 tracked, immobilised, dead, as fast as that. So the first kill of the match, for Dutch Rangers team at least, goes to Dennis, but Dennis makes a big mistake here. He's falling back to reload, and as he's crossing this road there's an enemy AMX 5120 amongst many other things who double tracks and immobilises him, and well, if you call sideways on in the middle of the open against an AMX 5120 you're gonna die. And he's not alone. Dutch Rangers team are now down 4 tanks. And with that many enemy tanks with clear lines of fire down that road, nobody on the Dutch Rangers team, if they have any sense, is going to expose the side of their tank to cross that road and come to his assistance. So he's pretty much all on his own over here for the moment, although he is in a top tier heavy tank, so he should be able to do all right. Now there was a Tiger sneaking around there, but well, you don't really need to worry too much about a Tiger when you're in an M103, but there was also that AMX 5120 that killed Dennis and an IS, oh there's the IS-3. How can the IS-3 not know that he's there? Dude, turn your enhanced mini-map features on and look at your map. I mean, IS-3 donked the shot off the front of his turret, but Dutch Ranger spied that AMX 5120 behind him who might have reloaded by now. No sign of him. Finishes off the IS-3. Now get this tank turned around because that AMX 5120 was on his way. Although you'd think he would have been here by now if he was loaded. And there is no sign of him. Where the hell did he go? No sign of that Tiger 1 either. Nope, not coming around that side. Oh well, let's go and find out where they went. And then the 5120 and the Tiger 1 both pop up on the map. Instead of pushing the advantage and outflanking him, they backed up and went all the way around the other side. So he's going for the kill on the AMX 5120, which is why he does not take the shot at the Tiger when he has it, but then the AMX 5120 pops up in chat as dead. So he starts to engage the Tiger, and this Tiger, he has no chance. He's not a completely stock Tiger, but even if he was fully upgraded, it'd be a tough fight against an M103. But he has the 75mm gun. And the Tiger is doing what he can. He's trying to keep the tank angled, but when you have 100mm of frontal armour and 80mm of side armour, and this 120mm gun has 258mm of penetration, it's really only a matter of time. So his team are losing 5-11. He's killed the Tiger, so it's 6-11. This 113 comes over an obstacle at the worst possible moment. Sneaky kill steal there. Scores are now 7-12. They keep losing tanks. Guys, stop dying. So they're outnumbered nearly 3-1, and he's sitting here waiting for that T-34-1 to poke around the corner again, but that guy isn't nearly as stupid as the T-34 or the IS-3 were, and he's not going to do it. So he needs to back up and support this IS-6, and he can do it from here. There is no reason for him to cross that road and give his 44mm of side armour to the AMX CDC and the T-34-1 who are waiting for him to do exactly that. The IS-6 is basically slowing all of those guys down, and any tank that comes around and tries to outflank the IS-6, like this Super Pershing, the Dutch Ranger is in a perfect spot to farm damage like an absolute boss, as long as that IS-6 can stay alive. Now the Tiger on the team is not a lot of help. He's about to get bum rushed by a pair of M41 Walker Bulldogs, and he can't approach down this road because of those two guys at the end. There we go, finally got the T-34-1. And he can't go around directly the other side to support the IS-6 because of the two Walker Bulldogs. And then this Waffenträger, I mean, why would you sit there waiting to beat the reload of an M103? I just don't get it. But they have lost the Tiger, which was fairly inevitable with 2 Walker Bulldogs on him, but the IS-6 tanked that corner like a boss, and no, no, get away Walker Bulldog, get away! Damn it, he's killed the IS-6. So he's now alone against 3 enemy tanks, 2 Walker Bulldogs and the CDC, and the CDC is not stupid enough to come down that road in front of his gun, and he's working his way around. But if the 2 Walker Bulldogs work together, they can... I said if they work together... Why would you do that? What? Why? On that low health, in a tank with that little armour, why would you approach an M103 from the front where he can shoot at you? Well, I'm not complaining. Now, the second Walker Bulldog was last seen badly damaged and beaten a hasty retreat, which means he's probably going to be trying to sneak around behind him. And in fact, check this out. Look at the way his turret's pointing. He's like, whoa, how did you get there? How did you know, M103? I had a cunning plan. He says, yeah, well, I've seen a couple of John Wayne movies. Well, he's going looking for the AMX CDC, last surviving tank on the enemy team, and, well, the AMX CDC basically announces to everybody still watching the battle, hey, I'm over here. I'm in your cap, stealing your flag. So, well, we've got a pretty good idea where he needs to go to find the AMX. And I believe the AMX was on sufficiently low health, i.e. less than 400, that there's a very, very good chance that the Dutch Ranger is going to be able to one-shot him. And I'm pretty sure that the AMX CDC, while it has a very nice gun, it's not going to be able to one-shot him. Broadcasting your location like this, I mean, there's just no way, not with the mobility of a tank like an M103, that you're going to cap in time. So all you're doing is telling him exactly where you are, and he can plan his approach. Plenty of time to think about how he's going to deal with this. Got lots of health, can take a hit. The AMX is probably going to be hiding in a bush. Unfortunately for the AMX, while it was a good plan, that bush is within 50 metres of the corner. So he couldn't even get the first shot off without being seen. Oh well, nice try. Ace Tanker, Pools Medal, 6,000 damage, 10 kills. The Dutch Ranger in the M103, American Tier 9 heavy tank. Our final replay for today is a bit of an unusual one because it's got very little to do with the person who actually sent the replay in. In fact, it's more of a team effort on behalf of his team in general and one player on the team in particular. You're going to see things in this particular battle that you might not be used to seeing in World of Tanks and may seem alien and strange to you. You're going to see things like teamwork, good sportsmanship, and you're going to see it on behalf of the enemy team as well. This is Dad Ops in the AMX 1390, and that behind him in the 113 Tier 10 Chinese heavy tank is Chinzo. Dad Ops is on a light tank mission. He needs to get 4,000 spotting damage done, so he notifies the team at the start of the match that he's going to be spotting the middle road. Go nuts. Do as much damage as you can. Gets confirmation from some of the other guys on the team, most particularly the tank destroyers, and he goes for it. Things are not going to go according to plan for Dad Ops, and that's mostly down to the T-54 lightweight Tier 8 light tank on the enemy team, who pretty much has more or less exactly the same idea. Dad Ops does get some initial spots, but pay attention to the mini-map. I actually saw it before Dad Ops did. Switch to the external camera, there it is, T-54 lightweight. He's caught him cold, bang to rights. But check out the response he's getting from the team. They're all trying to dig him out of this hole that he's gotten himself into. Now that's not necessarily because they love and respect him, but because there's an enemy tank that they can shoot at. But one way or another, and he has taken a lot of damage, and his engine is hit, but there's Chinzo in the 113, and bang. Just saved his ass, nailed the T-54 lightweight. Right then, Dad Ops. Okay, so you're alive, but your engine's damaged, and I do believe your position is compromised. And he still has a stab at trying to spot enemy tanks across the far side of the lake, but, well, I think that train has well and truly left the station. He moves a little bit closer, because he's not getting any spots from his original position, just parks around the side of the rock. He's got the T-54 lightweight to use as cover on one side, the rock on the other, but there's nothing there. Any enemy tanks that were crossing the southern end of the lake have made it into the town by now. On the other hand, have a look at the valley, the back road leading into the cap. It's absolutely swarming with enemy tanks, and only 2 tanks on Dad Ops' team actually went down there. The RU-251, who died in the valley, and the T-10, he just sort of took a hit there. He's been conducting a desperate fighting withdrawal all the way back. And look how the team reacts. They all rally to the defence. Obviously the guys who were engaged by enemy tanks in the town don't, but everybody who isn't starts coming back. Well, what's so unusual about that, Jingles? Excuse me? Do you play World of Tanks? Have you played any random battles lately? Nobody reacts to what's going on the map. But this team does. And they don't get salty about it either. They just see a job that needs doing, and they do it. Now, they've lost their artillery, who stuck around too long trying to defend the T-10, but the T-10 has managed to conduct that fight and withdrawal and has pulled back and his gun's still in play. Now everybody is terrified of coming around the corner in front of this Death Star, who fires and misses. But the team are talking to each other. The Jagdpanzer E-100 in the background there is telling them, pull back, draw them around the corner. There's a Lerva coming up to back up the T-10 and the Death Star. And so they actually have this situation in hand as all of these enemy tanks cross the open ground in front of all of these guns that have fallen back to defend the base. So with the base defence completely under control and enemy artillery unable to hit any of these tanks because they're being clever, let's just have a look and see what's going on in the town. Here's Chinzo in the 113. He's on half health and he's basically covering one corner alone against 3 enemy tanks, a T-10, a T-34 and a Guerrilla 15. When an equally badly damaged T-34 and an even more badly damaged E-100 hold off against another 3 enemy tanks on the other corner. 6 against 3. And Chinzo is in a good position here. But he's only in a good position as long as those 3 guys around the corner continue approaching and firing at him one at a time. Okay, those 2 guys around the corner, he's killed the T-34. And the same thing's happening around the other side. The STB-1 didn't really time that rush very well at all. The Death Star and the E4 had just fired, so there was nothing but the STB-1 on around about 300 health for the T-34 and the E-100 to shoot at. And around this corner as well, the T-10 and the Guerrilla 15, they will not man up and come around this corner. They don't want to die, but if they did come around the corner, they could one-shot the T-34 and the E-100, which would free up the E4, except not anymore because Chinzo's just killed him, and the Death Star to come around and kill Chinzo. But they won't do it. They just keep coming around one at a time, which is allowing, well, the T-34 and the E-100 to double up their firepower on whichever one of the enemy tanks comes around that side one at a time, and Chinzo was able to fight these guys one-on-one. And you've gone from 3 tanks versus 6 to 3 against 2. Death Star's backing up. Can you beat the reload of the Guerrilla 15? Yes you can. Get behind the Death Star. He can't kill you if he can't point his gun at you, and just wait for the cavalry to arrive. There we go. There's the E-100. And there goes the Death Star. 6 against 3. All 3 still alive. And if you have a look at the map of the base situation, you'll see that they've not only successfully defended the base, they've actually counterattacked and pushed the enemy tanks right back into the valley. And that T-10, do you remember the T-10? Who went into the valley at the beginning of the map, ran into 6 enemy tanks and fought a fighting withdrawal all the way back into his base, arriving there on 98 health. He's not only stayed alive for the last 5 minutes, he's also managed to get a kill before finally going down as he counterattacked around the other side of the valley. Apparently Guerrilla 15 tank destroyer, who came back to defend the base, is about to run down and kill the IS-3, which just leaves the artillery, who's got to be either in the base or in the valley somewhere. Chinzo's being congratulated for his exceptionally good play in the town there, and it was. And with the IS-3 dead, Chinzo on 5 kills and just the artillery left, the team are now saying, look Chinzo, do you want the top gun? We'll let you take the kill. Chinzo, of course, very, very low health, and well, you know what shotgunning artillery can do, so the T-110E5 on the team says, look, I've got the health. Let me go ahead, I'll take the hit from him, but I'll hold my fire so you can take the kill. What an absolute superstar. Of course, no plan survives contact with the enemy, because that's when the enemy artillery gets spotted by the Guerrilla 15, all the way up there in the middle of the valley. So, while it was a nice offer from the T-110E5, probably not going to need it. The question is, what's that Guerrilla 15 going to do? Is he going to take the kill? Nope. Look at this. Have you ever seen anything so awkward? The enemy team are going, what's wrong? Is your gun damaged? He's like, nope, gun's fine. I'm just waiting for the 113 to get here. If you could hurry up, that would be nice. I don't know how long I can hold this guy off. I mean, sooner would be better. Oh crap, he's gotten away. Come on, I don't want to have to kill him. Chinzo, Anytime you like. There we go. Fantastic. Congratulations on your Top Gun. Congratulations to the team for being awesome. And last but not least, well done to the enemy team for taking it all very well and never at any point being raging dicks in chat when it suddenly looked like they were about to start losing. I really enjoyed watching that match. It gave me renewed faith in humanity, and I hope it did for you guys as well. And I hope you enjoyed the other replays that we've seen today, because that's it for today's episode of Epic Win in World of Tanks. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.